So now what we are going to do is to create an additional template for rendering the information of a member in the members. So it means since now we are showing all the details of all the members in a single page, now we are going to add an additional specific dynamic page for showing the information of any member. What I'm doing now is just I'm adding some additional records to the databases since we have just two. So join underscore date is equal to 2022 minus 005 22 and y dot save. Okay, let's just before quit the member to check just all the details of our members all dot values. Okay, perfect. Quit. Now here what we did is we have a single page where it shows the data of all our members, and if the member has a phone number, in other words, it means that the phone number is not none. So for example, here it's none, but here is not, so we will show it. Okay, now the next step is to create an additional template for each member. Okay, so path members slash details slash int ID. Okay, I will explain. Copy this one, let's call it member underscore details and members underscore details. This one, so member slash, it's totally fine, is this one. Member slash details is still fine, it's just an additional string, but int ID is to just say that here this any record, since it is a dynamic page, any record is going to be shown in that page according to its ID. So for example, members slash details slash 1 will show us the details for the first record in our database, or exactly in our table. The slash 2 is going to show us the details for the object in our table that has an ID 2. All our data has here, or have here, an ID, okay, which is a primary key. So this is about int ID. We will see later in the future about other types, how we can show our data. Okay, so now let's create our view function. So here we have def request comma ID. So this function instead, it takes as a parameter an ID, and a member is a member.objects.get ID equal to ID. Okay, for me, I don't really recommend to use the get function. Instead, I highly recommend you to use the get object or 404 function. Why? Because this function, it checks. So inside the function, when they created it, it has an additional step that it checks if the record exists or not. That's it. Okay. So here, I am going to use this one, but if we are using get object or 404, we need to say pk equal id and not id equal id. So member is from the table member dot objects get this one or not. Okay, let's save it and get object or 404. Okay, same way we define here data and member underscore details. Last step. So model is okay, views okay. Let's create the template. So sorry, the template should be inside the pages member underscore details HTML. So let's see. What I will do is let's write a complete HTML code \HTML. This is body, and we close the body. Here we have h3 is fine. So it's, since we called it here a member, so I can directly here say member dot first underscore name and member dot last underscore name. Let's add a paragraph. So this shouldn't be email, it should be phone, and let's add here phone. But since we are not sure about the existence of the phone number, we add an if where it checks if member dot phone and if same thing, I will copy it and rewrite it here. Member dot joined underscore date, copy, member since. Okay, perfect. Now Python manage.py run server. Okay, so we run the Python run server and we get this error. So this error is because we used the get object or 404 in a bad way. Instead, when you need to use it, you need to specify the model name inside the arguments of the function. So for simplicity, we have two ways. The first one is this one, the second one is this one, but here you need to say pk equal id, and here you need to say id equal id. Okay, the difference is very simple. Here, instead, here the additional step, it will raise an exception if that person doesn't exist in the databases. Now let's go back here. So members. So for members, everything's fine. Okay, and details /1. So this is the first record, phone, member since, 2. So without a phone nor a joint date, because this record doesn't have nor a phone nor a joint date fields. 3 doesn't exist, and you may be asking me why. So for simplicity, let me show you why there is no /3. From members dot models, import member. Okay, and member dot objects dot all dot values. And now when I'm going to click this one, you will remember that we already deleted before the record that had the ID number 3. So we have now 1, 2, 4, 5, and this is why here we don't have 3. 4. Now we come back to 4. Sorry, we need to rerun the server in order to continue exploring the browser. So refresh. Fine. 5 and 6 for sure doesn't exist because we don't have the record with an ID number 6. Okay, perfect. One additional step. Now let's add here a link that it takes us to the page of the member. So let's add here, for example, no, it's we are talking about all the members. In the all members, we are going to add a hyperlink here, href equal something, and let's close it and click here to visit the members page. Okay, we need to specify here the reference, so it's going to be okay. So here in all the references you may see something like /members /details /x.id. okay, where x.id it needs to be written between double curly brackets, and this is totally fine. Now if I go back to the members, I can click here, but this is just for the first and the last time I'm going to show this. The better way is to use a different way, that is the URL. How? For simplicity, you say URL and you specify the name of the view. So URL, you are saying that this is going to be a URL to take me to a view function. Okay, this view function, how to know that? Simply the name of the view function. So this is a better way. And finally the name, or x.id. Here you don't need to use double curly brackets. Okay, now we refresh, we have an error. Okay, so it is not member underscore details. Okay, so here we have an error. The error is due to one important thing, and I'm very happy that we are facing these errors now, because you may face them when you are trying to build your project. So we said here that it should be the name of the view function. Yes, it's totally correct, but here we use this name. Usually, or in the majority of time, both of them should be equal, but here instead we have members, not member. So the problem is, since we are using here member, not members, what I'm going to do is members. member now without an S. Save, and here we go. Now we are in members, and I can go everywhere. One last thing is to do the same thing for the members. So what I'm going to do is I will create here a link. So it's a href, so it's an a href URL, the name it's members, and that's it. Exactly, it should be back to members. Refresh. Now we have back to members. Okay, sorry, here it should be curly brackets and a percentage sign. Now if I'm in for reverse not found members, let's check the name. It's all members. Okay, so you are going to face all these things when you are dealing with your own project, so it's a good way to practice. Now refresh, back to members. We are in members, going to a member. So welcome to your first dynamic small website. Thank you so much, and see you next lecture.